Alright guys, there's no entrance ticket today. That's because the test is tomorrow. At this point, either you know it or you don't. Today's objective, which you should write on your paper, right where it says today's objective is, okay? You should write today's objective. I can prepare effectively for tomorrow's test. This includes seeking out peers and teachers to help if I don't understand and studying tonight. I want this written on your paper, okay? Where it says today's objective, you need to write this. I want you to own the fact that you are responsible for this test, how good you do. You can ask peers, which is like people in your class. You can ask people in honors that are in Miss Beamer's honors class. You could ask people that are in my honors class. They just took this test not very long ago, okay? But you need to be responsible for going to ask for help if you need help, okay? You need to use this time to prepare for tomorrow's test. Do not use today as a I can goof off and I don't care kind of day. All right, next one. So pause this, write down the objective. When you're done, keep going. So, important things to note. Discovery education questions are also fair game. This test may even be on Discovery Education or online. You guys know by now that I've done online tests. I've done parts of Discovery Education online. There are all different kinds of things I do. I'm not going to tell you, but I am going to tell you you should probably study your Discovery Education. Remember the last time I told you that? It was literally a copy of your Discovery Education homework for the test. So I would study those things. I'm telling you this. It should not come as a surprise. Be able to graph and evaluate piecewise functions. Okay, so that's the kind of functions where if I give you a couple things, kind of like where we drew the dog, right? Where I give you two parameters and some equations, can you graph it? And evaluate means if I tell you f of 2 equals this, can you tell me what the y is, right? Because it's x comma y. Can you tell me that? When I give you like y equals 3x plus 6, can you plug that 2 in? Let's see. Be able to do rational and radical back and forth, similar to what we did on day 51. Hint, hint. Study day 51 stuff. Go over it. Look at the stuff. You have the access to the answer keys. You also, most of you have Photomath. Check it. See if you did it right. If you didn't, figure out what you did wrong and study it. Okay? That's the three major important ones for right now. So let's do some of these problems together. I know when you look at these, the first thing you think is, oh my gosh, that's a lot of numbers. So I always tell you, work from the inside out. So let's start with this parentheses up here first. Let's just get rid of that because that's just too much. So I've got 2. I'm going to make it to the negative 2, right? I'm going to take this negative 2 and go to every single thing inside there. Negative 2 to the negative 2 becomes 4. Y to the negative 8. I'm not going to do anything to my bottom yet. Y to the negative 4. X squared. Y to the negative 1. And then don't forget, I've said it 100 times, don't forget this exponent out here. Just leave it there. Now let's move, I don't have any zeros, so let's move these negatives because you guys know negatives are not my thing. And all those negatives need to switch places. So on the top I have x to the 4th left. And on the bottom I have this 2 and this x squared left that I did not touch, right? You guys know I mark stuff off as I go so I don't lose it. This 2 to the negative 2 goes to the bottom. Y to the negative 8 goes to the bottom. Mark them off as I go. X to the 3rd goes to the top. Y to the 4th goes to the top. Y to the 1 goes to the top. Then I combine what I can combine on the top and the bottom. So I can combine these to be x to the 7th. I can combine this to be y to the 5th because there's no parentheses. I'm just doing 4 plus 1 and 3 plus 4, right? Nothing rocket science there. I've got 2 to the 1 and 2 to the 2. That becomes 2 to the 3. I know that one might freak people out because now we've got variables and numbers. And I don't have anything I can combine this x2 or this y8 with. But now I can start simplifying across the divide line. X to the 7 and x to the 2 becomes x to the 5 on top because the 7's bigger. Then I have, I'm running out of colors, y'all, y to the 5 and y to the 8th, which becomes y, oops, should not have done that. It's y to the 3rd, but where is it? I was going to put it on the top, but it's going to be on the bottom because that's where that 8 is, and 8 is bigger than 5. And then I still have this 2 to the 3rd on the bottom. So if you look at your answer sheet for number 5, x to the 5th, oh wait, I know what I did wrong. Look at this, what did I do wrong? I forgot my 3 outside. Like, I lost it. So if you don't pay attention, I was literally just telling you guys to do that, and then I turned around and made that same mistake. So make sure that you realize how easy that mistake is to make. So I end up with x to the 15th, 2 to the 9th, y to the 9th, because remember the parentheses makes it multiply. On your answer key, it does simplify 2 to the 9th to 512. If you did not and you left it as 2 to the 9th, I'm still going to give you points for that. Okay? I don't care. I know you know how to use the caret button on your calculator. At least I hope so. Okay? All right, let's look at number 6. I don't like parentheses. Let's get rid of it. Y squared, I'm going to leave that alone. 2x3 y to the negative 1. Get rid of this. X to the negative 12. It is negative 12 because when you cross a parentheses, it is a multiply. Then I don't have any zeros, so I start moving my negatives. Y'all know how I feel about negatives. Y to the square stayed. 2x to the 3rd stayed. I just need to move this y to the 1 and x to the 12. Let's make sure I got that, I got that, I got that, and I got that. Okay, I've got everything I need. Now I can start combining. This all becomes y to the 3rd, x to the 12 is nothing I can combine, 2x to the 3rd, nothing I can combine. But I can simplify across the division sign. I'm going to leave my y to the 3rd up top and my 2 on the bottom. 12 minus 3 is 9, and it goes where the bigger number is, x to the 9. If you look at your answer key, that's going to tell you you are correct. Okay? Make sure that you are checking the answer keys. You have access to them for a reason. Okay? Number 7. First thing I do is I get rid of this parentheses. I don't like it. I multiply it out. 2 to the negative 2, u to the 6th, v to the negative 4. Nothing on the bottom that I'm doing anything to right now. First thing I would get rid of, though, is obviously that 0. I don't need that. So let's rewrite it without that 0. U to the 6th, v to the negative 4th. I got 1, 2, 3 up there. On the bottom, 2u to the 3rd, u to the 4th. Got rid of everything I had down there. So let's start seeing what I can, oh, no, before I combine, let's move my negatives. Negatives. Up top, I still have that u to the 6th. Didn't do anything to it. On the bottom, I still have 2, u to the 3rd, and u to the 4th. I just need to move this 2 squared and v to the 4th to the bottom. So all I did was move those two things. Then I am going to start combining what I can combine. There ain't nothing for me to combine up top. U to the 6th, that's all that's there. Then I would start my coefficients. 2 to the 1 and 2 to the 2 is 2 to the 3. And I've got two u's, u to the third and u to the fourth. Remember, no parentheses means I add them, u to the seventh, and then I have this v to the fourth. Still not done. I can simplify u to the sixth and u to the seventh. That becomes u to the 1, and it becomes on the bottom because 7 is bigger than 6. I'm going to leave my other two things, 2 to the third and v to the fourth, and this is just going to become u to the 1. Remember, when there's nothing left up top, we put a 1 there. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Also, 2 to the third, I hope you can evaluate that in your head. 2 times 2 times 2. It is not 6. Stop putting 6. If I see a 6 on homework, I'm going to make it a 0 forever. 8, u to the 1, v to the fourth. Let's check our answer key. That looks right to me. Okay? Now, somebody will inevitably ask me 1 over 8 v to the fourth u to the 1. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm not going to take off points for that. However, once we get into the spring and we start talking quadratics, you need to do the lowest letter first, but I'm not going to take off points for that. You've got all the variables right. You understood the rules. You went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many steps? 8 steps to get this. That's not my main point. My main point is, did you get what you need to get? Okay? All right, let's look at 18. I've got two variables and some constants. I'm going to start with red. I'm going to get rid of that parentheses. So I'm going to leave my top alone. N to the fourth times 2 m n. That's not an m. That's an n. Over m to the negative 16, right? Because I distributed that negative 4. N to the negative 12. Remember, you keep that negative. If it's there, keep it. Don't just start deleting stuff. These two negatives need relocated. They need new homes. On the top, I have m to the third, n to the fourth, times 2, times m, times n. And now I've got these other two things I'm going to put up there. It's going to get long, right? Holy cow, that's long. But it's really not that bad. Let's get rid of our constant, 2. I have nothing left on the bottom, by the way, right? There's nothing left down there. So I've got a 2. And then I'm going to go through, and I personally, this is getting messy for me. So I'm going to box all my m's so that I can see what all I got to get rid of here. Okay? That's a strategy that we used way back in August to help us see what we could combine. M to the third, m to the 1, m to the 16. That becomes m to the 20th, right? So now I'm going to like circle my n's. N to the fourth, n to the 1, n to the 12. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 12 is 17. I don't have anything on the bottom because I got rid of it already. So go ahead and check your answer key and see if you've got the right answer. Okay? Make sure you are checking these. I'm telling you that over and over and over again because I want you to check them. All right, let's see if we've got 1, 2, oops. 1, 2, I've got 2 more to get through. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. And then I've got 2 more. If yours, oh no, I want everybody to look at 24. Okay, let's pause the video or stop the video and go to another video.